All right, let's talk about something that sounds like it's straight out of a spy movie. We're talking about a satellite that can see things that are meant to stay hidden, things that are, for all intents and purposes, invisible.
So let's just jump right in with the big question. How exactly do you find something that's been designed from the ground up not to be found?
I mean, what if it's completely covered in camouflage? Meticulously blended into its surroundings? To you and me, if we were standing there, it'd basically be gone, vanished.
Okay, now for the really wild part. What if you had to spot that same camouflage thing, but you're not a few feet away? You are 600 kilometers straight up, in space, looking down. Yeah, sounds impossible, right? Pure science fiction. But you know what? The science behind it is very, very real.
So, how on earth is it done? Well, the answer isn't just a bigger telescope or a more powerful camera lens. Nope, it's about seeing the world in a fundamentally, completely new way. So, let me introduce you to the star of our show today. It's a satellite called EOS-N1, also known as Anvesha. This thing was developed by India's Defense Research and Development Organization, the DRDO, and it was built to be this incredible next-level eye in the sky. The secret to its incredible power lies in a really fascinating concept. The idea that every single material on Earth has its own unique, invisible signature. And this is where the real magic happens. The core technology is called hyperspectral imaging, or HSI for short. At its heart, it's the science of seeing light in hundreds of super-specific shades and colors, wavelengths that are completely invisible to our eyes.
Here's a great way to think about it. A regular camera, even on a normal satellite, sees the world in big, broad strokes of color, basically red, green, and blue. But hyperspectral imaging, it doesn't just see green. It sees hundreds of distinct shades of green, and every single one of those shades tells a different story. This amazing capability lets the satellite see what scientists call a spectral fingerprint, and it's a perfect name for it. Because just like your fingerprint is totally unique to you, the specific way any material reflects or absorbs light is unique to it. A rock, a plant, a drop of paint, they all have their own signature.
So let's circle back and solve that mystery from the beginning. A regular satellite looks down at a green camouflage truck in a green field and just sees, well, a patch of green. But EOS-N1 looks at the unique spectral fingerprint of the chemicals in the paint and immediately knows it's completely different from the fingerprint of chlorophyll in the grass. And just like that, the camouflage is useless. The lie is revealed.
Now, as you can probably guess, a technology that can literally see through camouflage has some incredibly serious applications. And those were the main reasons this mission was created in the first place.
The main user for EOS-N1 was always going to be India's defense establishment. Beyond just spotting hidden assets, it could analyze the soil to tell if it was firm enough for heavy tanks to cross. And because it passes over the exact same spot at the exact same time every single day, that's thanks to its sun-synchronous orbit, it can detect even the tiniest, most subtle changes along borders with incredible precision.
But a technology this powerful is way too valuable to be limited to just one field. The potential for civilian and scientific use is just immense.
And this is where that dual-use value really starts to shine. For farmers, it could spot crop stress weeks before the plants even start to look sick. For geologists, it can scan huge areas for the spectral fingerprints of valuable minerals like lithium and gold. It can even monitor our rivers and lakes for specific pollutants. It's a real game changer.
And what makes this even more impressive is that all this capability is packed into a relatively small microsatellite. We're talking about something that weighs just 100 to 150 kilograms. It's designed specifically for that 600-kilometer sun-synchronous orbit, the path that allows it to get that consistent, daily view of the Earth that's so crucial for its monitoring tasks.
Now, while this specific mission did face a setback, it's the science behind it that truly matters for the future.
Look, the journey to space is ridiculously difficult. While the initial launch of this satellite ran into a technical issue, it's just a reminder of how hard this stuff really is. The real takeaway here isn't about a single mission's outcome, but the powerful, enduring science that was developed and proven.
And that science is looking to the future in more ways than one. A key secondary objective of this launch was something called the Zero Debris Initiative. After deploying the satellite, the rocket's final stage was designed to intentionally deorbit and burn up in the atmosphere. The whole point? To make sure it didn't become another piece of dangerous space junk. That is a critical step for sustainable spaceflight.
So we end with this thought. A technology like hyperspectral imaging gives us a completely new way to see our planet.
It can reveal hidden truths in agriculture, in geology, and in security. And that begs the question, once we have the power to see the invisible, what are the most important things we should be looking for?